Welcome, ladies and gentlemen,
to the Broc and Dawson podcast.
baby girl. It is a wonderful Monday, Wednesday for you folks, probably. It's
So
Monday
you're probably on a
right
better
now.
day.
It's Monday right now, dude. Let's get your opinion on this. What is your favorite day of all time?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Monday always has a bad reputation, but I actually kind of like Monday. It's like a fresh new start to the week.
That's
like
my thoughts 100%. I freaking love Mondays.
I actually really do. Like I don't know why everybody hates Mondays so much, because you kind of have your break on the weekend. Mondays you kind of just get back into stuff. You kind of
Yes,
get the
sir.
ball rolling
Yes,
again.
sir.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I like them.
Yeah, man. Sundays I'm always happy. Like we get up and we have a little family run because we're cute like that. And then I feel good until like 1 o'clock, and then I just get bored and I'm just like, let's get on to
Yeah.
Monday, baby. Let's go to Monday.
Yeah, no, I have that exact same feeling. Like, because Sundays are my off days for like running.
Yeah.
And I just kind of chill. So then I'm just ready to get back into it Monday, because I'm just like, I feel so lazy on Sundays that I'm just ready.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is for me. So I hope you're having a good Wednesday. Wednesday is a good day too, because it's kind of like the middle of the week.
Hump day.
Yeah, hump day. Tuesdays suck. Thursdays
Yeah.
kind of suck, but are also kind of good. Friday and Saturday, obviously dope. Half of Sunday is good. Mostly just all of life is pretty good.
Yeah, pretty great.
Honestly, can't complain right now. School is going to get tougher. I can tell that. This,
If we have in school anymore, but
Yeah, man.
Another topic.
Should we talk about that? I feel like we could.
I feel like we definitely could.
I don't want to bring attention to like,
Well, no, we don't need to like say names or anything like that at all. or-
okay. All
I think
right.
We can just kind of talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk about, so on Friday, it was like after school, like the whole Facebook, our town, it's a literal joke, and I love it. And I love the people here. A lot of them are mentally retarded, but I love them. It's like when you see like a dumb little puppy that kind of runs into walls and you're like, oh, that's cute. I'm that too. I'm not saying, I'm not excluding myself. Everyone's a dumb puppy, but it's just like, I like these people. They get on Facebook. It's kind of a show we watch around here, and like people from neighboring towns have found it. I'm not even kidding.
I love it.
Yeah, the Enterprise Concerned Citizens Facebook group.
Oh my gosh, it's just gossip.
It
the entire
started
time.
off as like, if somebody was robbing your house, you could be like, guys, this guy robbed my house. Be on the lookout. And now it's transitioned into like middle-aged people just like fighting and calling each other names, and it's toxic.
Oh, big
say the
time.
least.
It's some bad stuff, but there is some hilarious stuff on there
Yeah.
too. Like I go on there when I want some good comedy. That is where I go.
Yeah. And it's unintentional, and that's what makes it even funnier. But it's kind of disgusting because people from St. George, which is like this huge city kind of near us, we're like 40 miles away from anything. So neighboring cities have found this Facebook group and are starting to look at it. And they realize that our town is a disgusting joke,
Yeah.
which they're not wrong. And so on this Facebook group on Friday, some people earlier that day went to a protest to the district offices to try and get masks abolished or something.
Yeah, they want masks taken out of schools. They feel like the rights are being taken away in school, and they want
Yeah.
all masks taken out of schools.
Which I really don't. I mean, I'm not going to rule out anything. Like, this whole COVID thing could just be a way to turn us into China. I'm not ruling it out. I can't rule it out. Like, my brain, I can't rule anything out. Anything is possible at this point when you learn some of the things that I've learned. So I'm definitely not ruling that out, but I can't really see how, like, some people think that wearing the masks is going to turn us into socialists. Like, I've heard people say that. I've heard people say this is just a way for them to get us into socialism. And somebody else is like, yeah, I agree. And I'm like, wait, just how does that make sense? If you guys know, hit me up, because I would love to understand that viewpoint. But so people have a lot of different theories about this. I think I have a lot of conspiracies too, but in this case, for some reason, I just feel like it's just something that happened. It definitely was not a natural virus. It was definitely made in a lab. That's like confirmed, I'm pretty sure, is it not?
I have no clue
I'm
on that.
pretty sure it's confirmed. So like I know that, but I don't think this whole situation is a ploy to get us into socialism or become Muslims, which I've heard so many people say repeatedly. So I have no idea where I was going with that. Oh yeah, so they're trying to get rid of the masks in school because they feel like the rights are being stripped away. Which these people that are protesting and talking about this, their rights aren't being stripped at all. They wear a mask to go into Costco for 20 minutes. But they're fighting for their kids to not wear a mask in school, which doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just like they're forcing their agenda on their kids. That's the part that really it makes me so mad.
And a lot of the kids that are involved with this, like some of the kids from our high school went to the protest, and I hold nothing against them. Because parents can pressure you. Like my parents don't pressure me, and I'm not a person that can be pressured, like even by my own parents. Like nobody can pressure me into doing anything because for whatever reason, deep down, I enjoy pissing people off. And like I'm being serious. So I don't hold anything against the kids because that's kind of how things just go. Like your parents' viewpoints are your viewpoints. I get it. But the adults just need to, I don't know, just shut up. So they went to this protest, and then I don't know what happened on this Facebook thing, but something sparked. Do you know the entire story? Because I don't know.
I can kind of talk about that a bit. So there had already been a lot of people talking about how they hate masks so much on the gossip page and just everything under the sun about it. And then someone after the rally was over posted that there should be a no mask Monday at school this upcoming day. This was on a Friday, so they were saying the next school day, Monday, they should have all kids not wear masks at the school. Because their logic to that was saying they can't suspend all the kids at school. They're just going to be okay with it. They're just going to have to live with it. And when I saw that, I couldn't handle it anymore. But I was looking through the comments of that, and the people in our town, they can get pretty nasty at times. Yeah. Holy cow. Let me tell you that.
It's crazy. Like I've heard, I don't have Facebook and I'm not a part of that group because
I can pull some of it up if you want.
Well, yeah, you could actually show me after we finish recording because I want to see it. But I'm not a part of the group. I don't have anything to do with it. All the information I get is from other people. It's just hearsay for me. But the stuff I've heard, it's kind of crazy because I've talked about this on the show before at nauseum. Like I was screaming on one of my solo episodes. I was screaming about this because. On another Facebook, same group and everything. And it's so odd to me. Fighting on the internet is so odd to me in general, even if it's with people you don't know. But I can even understand that more than these are your neighbors and like classmates and like your kids are on the same t-ball team. It's just very strange. And so you say these vile things. And then you'll see him at the store the next day and be like, oh, hey. Like I've seen these people that have fought on Facebook in real life after. And it's just like, oh, hey, what's up? And I'm like, what is going on? Like you called him some of the worst stuff. And now you guys are like, I just don't understand the dynamic.
Everyone just hides behind their screens all the time and just fights about everything. Like they feel like when they're behind their phone screen, they don't have to actually face the person so they can say whatever they want. And I just don't get it.
But it's so funny in this particular situation because it's like you don't anticipate ever seeing them again.
I know.
You don't anticipate what you're saying online is gonna translate to real life. Like like you're not just saying it to their username. Like the person is gonna see it.
Yeah.
It's very strange how our brains just kind of click off when we go online. It's very interesting to me. So we need to get to the point of this.
Yeah. So after I saw all this, I was just like, for a while, I was really like, hey, I'm just going to watch this thing play out because I don't want to say anything. But then I was just to the point where I could not watch it anymore. I was so mad. So I just went on there. I was really nice about it. I can read it if you want me to.
Yeah, read it. That's all right.
Yeah, I'll read it. So I just went on there and said some things about it because I was not having it. So let me see here. Pull this thing up. You can keep talking while it's going.
Well, yeah, so that Friday, I, like, after school, went home and was talking to my mom before work, and we were talking about all this stuff, and she kind of told me, yeah, these people are trying to do No Mask Monday and all this kind of stuff. And then I went to work, talked to some people there about it, talked to one of the school teachers, actually, about my stance on it and their stance, and they're like, yeah, like, if people actually do this No Mask Monday, you will probably be shut down by Monday. Like, like all this circulation has gotten to the people at the district, and there will probably be people here on Monday to, like, survey everything. And if things are awry.
Oh, there definitely were people also.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy, but read your thing.
Yeah, so I just went on there. I just said, look, I'm not trying to start an argument or anything. I just want the parents to understand how so many of us kids are feeling. We just want to be able to attend school in person this year and have sports back after being away from it for so long. This is my senior year of high school, and I don't want to lose it because of people's personal opinions on a district and state level requirement. So I'm asking as a high school student that we can please respect the rules put in place so we can at least be in school. I can understand that masks are not comfortable, and I'm not saying I enjoy it, but I prefer it to having to stay at home and away from friends in the great environment at our school. I also think that you should keep this post civilized because of seeing all the other stuff.
Yeah, man. And so here's what happened. So after I talked to all those people, I was like, I started talking to some other people, and I was like, I started getting, like, legitimate anxiety. Like, it was freaking me out that this could possibly shut down the rest of our school
me
year.
Too.
I'm never an advocate for stuff. You guys know that I hate when people have to have an opinion and then share it. Like, I genuinely dislike that. But this was getting so out of hand, and I felt like there was nothing that could really be done. But, like, I was going to have to try. Like, and I know people say that, and I'll make fun of them all day. Like, I just felt like I had to do something. It's like, no, you didn't. In this case, I felt like that, and it was personally affecting me. If things don't personally affect me, I do not care. Like, yeah, if I was out of high school, I wouldn't have said anything. I'm going to be straight honest with you.
Neither would have I.
But I'm in high school, and it's my senior year, and so I didn't want this stupid thing to end my entire senior year because, like, and I've talked about it on this podcast too, man. I've talked about a lot of stuff on this podcast, but it was another solo episode. It was the one where I was freaking crying because I was talking about how the previous class got their stuff shut down, and I vowed that I was gonna go to every single dance, every single game, every single stupid little school thing. You know what I mean? Like I realized that on the podcast, and I was just super emotional about it. And so I have been doing that, and I didn't want it to get ruined by this group of people and this little movement they had. And so I was like, I got to take it in my own hands. So I start writing this Instagram post, and then my boss comes over and says, Dawson Talene just wrote this super great thing on Facebook. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, so I beat him to the punch, just by a little bit.
Beat me to the punch, and so now I look like I'm copying, but it doesn't matter. So I wrote a little stupid thing on Instagram and said, post this, like, repost it on your story if you agree. Because I wanted a thing where it was like, people could show that they support this idea. They're like, I'm willing to wear a mask at school in order for school not to be shut down. I'm not saying masks help. I'm not saying I would love to wear a mask. I'm not saying COVID's even real. I'm not saying anything. What I'm saying, and what most of the student body, people I've talked to, are saying is that we're wearing a mask because the district said to wear a mask. Like, there's no, like, the bottom line is, I want to go to school. To be able to go to school, I have to wear a mask, and that's just what you have to do. Like, to go to school, you have to wear pants. So you just wear the pants. You know, it's kind of like the same thing to me.
No Pants Tuesday.
Yeah. So, but people think because it's this new thing, and they don't really understand it, that there's some sort of conspiracy, and they need to stand up against it. But it's like, not really. Like, I'm sure when they discovered that freaking, like, bugs bite you all over your body, they were like, yeah, wear a shirt. Like, that's probably a good idea. And so people weren't like, no, I will not. Like, I don't see people doing that.
What?
But for some reason, this mask thing, people are up in arms about it, which I understand, because governments do things like this all the time. And it could possibly be like 9/11. They used 9/11 to their advantage to push the Patriot Act and get all of our information. We were just like, yeah, take it, have it. Take it. We don't want Osama to crash into a building. Even if he was under the direction of Dick Cheney. We don't want it. We don't want you to do that. So I understand that they use this sometimes, but the bottom line is, I want to go to school to wear a mask. To go to school, you have to wear a mask, so that's what I want to do. And I wanted to encourage other people to do the same so we could all go to school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the rest of it, that's an entirely different argument, but it's like, if you're going to the store, I just don't understand sometimes, like, if you're going to the store and they say mask required, I brought this up on another podcast. You just put your mask on, you go into the store. You don't start protesting about the store. Same thing with school, because you want to go to that store, you want to go to school, you just wear your mask. I know it's not fun. I don't enjoy masks either. I mean, I am a believer in masks, but I'm not saying I enjoy them. And that's a whole different thing. But it's just, if you want to be in school, you wear your mask. And all these parents are pushing their agendas on their kids. They're pushing this agenda where they're saying, don't wear your mask to show that we hate masks so much, when all they're going to accomplish by that, they're not going to change the district rules. They're just going to take our school out of function. We're just going to be all online again, which I would hate so much.
Yeah, I did not see their perspective, like their end goal. What did they think was going to happen?
Yeah,
like,
that was the thing. Like, there's places to protest. Like, when they protest at the district building, like, that was fine.
Yeah.
That didn't really... They're not going to be like, oh, all these people are from Enterprise, let's shut down Enterprise because they're protesting. Like, that's not going to happen. But when it starts getting to the point where they're trying to, like, go against the rules, or they're trying to have the kids do something, that's when it really just gets on my nerves. I just can't stand those people at all. Like, they're so selfish. They just do everything that... I feel like I'm going to get shot down for this podcast,
dude, go for it. Screw anybody, dude. Say what you want.
But they're just, like, being so selfish by saying that, because they're trying, like, they just have a political view, but because of that political view, they're making it so their kids can't attend school. Their kids can't go have that social life where it's their only place where they're going to have that. They're not going to have it anywhere else. School gives you that. Sports gives you that. But all that would be shut down just because of a parent's agenda. I just don't.
Yeah. It's like, I personally think this whole thing, at the start, I understand the precautions we were taking, but it's kind of being blown out of proportion. In my personal opinion, I'm not freaking a doctor, but so I personally think we shouldn't have to wear masks everywhere. I think it's kind of just like any other disease. You know what I mean? Like, why all of a sudden are we taking these precautions? But that's just me. But at the same time, I'm not gonna protest things. I'm not gonna whine about things. This is what I told somebody. I told somebody this, and my mother got really pissed at me because she doesn't like when I talk like this. But if you want to protest, go shoot a senator. Like, I don't understand why people go on Facebook and think they're accomplishing something. Like, people will talk about their rights getting stripped all day long. And they talk about how they need their guns to protect them from the government overreach. And then they whine about government overreach. Go kill the president.
Oh, gosh.
Go to Washington with those guns that you love so much. I am a believer in the Second Amendment. I think you should have the right to own a gun. I think you have the right to protest. But if you're going to protest on Facebook and whine about your rights getting stripped away, use the gun. Use it.
Yeah, I don't condone shooting people.
I don't condone that either. But I'm not telling you to do this. Don't chase this back to me. But I'm saying, with these people's logic, isn't that what they should be doing? Am I wrong that is what they should be doing? Dude, according to their logic.
I mean, yeah, I can see what you're saying with that. Obviously, we're not telling people to go do that.
It's extreme. But I'm saying they whine about wanting to have guns to protect themselves, and then they think their rights are being stripped. So obviously it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, the point of the Second Amendment is because when you have a tyrannical government, you can overthrow them because they're being tyrannical. They're taking away your rights. But if they're saying they're taking away their rights, but they only care enough to post on Facebook, they only care enough to just do that, then is it really affecting you that much?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying, if you're not willing to shoot a government employee, then stop whining in general. There's no in between, I guess. Like, if it's not worth storming to DC, then it's probably not worth whining on Facebook about. Do you understand? Like, this is really my thoughts, and I know it's extreme, and I know, like, I'm not telling you to go kill people at all. Don't take that away from this. I'm saying if it was to that point, you would be doing that, right? Am I correct? Second Amendment people, am I right? That's all I have to say. Don't trace this back to me, please. If somebody kills a senator, I'm going
They
to
better
prison.
not. Don't at least don't say it in the name of the Broc and Dawson podcast.
Yeah, don't. Like. Yeah, please don't. Yeah, disclaimer. None of that. I'm not condoning any violence there. But the point I'm trying to make is that, if it's not worth violence in the streets, then it's not worth like Facebook posts. Do you understand? Do you get it?
I kind of understand that. I mean, it is very extreme.
It's extreme, but it's like that's what they want. Like the point of people wanting guns is so they can fight against tyranny. Am I correct? So if they feel like the government's being tyrannical, then they should use the guns, right? So
I mean, that's the point.
So they obviously don't care that much about this particular, and like a bunch of other particular instances of government overreach or tyranny. You see what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like a lot of things are blown out of proportion.
Most things are.
Most things are definitely blown out of proportion. I don't know. It's kind of tough. But, like, you can have a debate on whether or not, like, masks are effective or whether or not this is blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Just all that other stuff I just don't get. But, I don't know. For me personally, it's like, I don't have the required stuff to do all the research. I can't go out there and just do a ton of research on this and like get my own opinion on it. So all I do is I just listen to like the CDC. They have like $6 billion or something per year that they put into studying diseases, and they're the experts on it. So for me, it's like when there's a topic, you want to go to the experts, right? So for me, I go to them and I just listen to what they say about it. And for me, it's like wearing a mask. Yeah, it's not fun. I don't really know the effectiveness of it. I don't have any research on it. But if they say that it works, I'm going to wear my mask so that this can be away in the next few months at least.
I pray to God that this is to get Trump out of office. Can I say that? I told my great-grandmother that, and she almost hit me yesterday. I pray that this is to get Trump out of office. Number one, because I don't care who the president is. I think Trump's a crook just as much as Biden. I think all the presidents are crooks. Kennedy, Mr. Man on the Moon, was doing coke in the freaking Oval Office. None of these presidents are your friend, and none of them care about you. Like, we need to stop praising these people. But I hope it's to get Trump out of office. So come November, December, January, we go back to normal. Maybe Biden's in office. Maybe he died of COVID and Kamala's in office. Who knows? And who cares? Honestly, who cares? If Joe is in office, we get more press conferences and more funny stuff. If Trump's in office, we get more press conferences, more funny stuff. Also, COVID, wildfires, like hell on earth, basically. And I don't know. I don't know anything about politics.
I mean, I don't really think that it's something just to get him out of office. And if it was, it would be kind of scary.
We'll find out, dude. We will find out. I'm not ruling that out at all.
It would be kind of scary if it was, to be honest, just because it shows the power of everything, which I don't believe that's what it is. But, I mean, I guess we'll see. I don't know. I feel like that's just something that everybody just made up because right now, everybody wants to feel like a victim.
Yeah.
Everybody does. In some way or another, everybody wants that feeling of a victim because they want to be able to blame their circumstances on something else.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's kind of where this whole thing came from, is because people were kind of feeling victimized. They're like, oh, well, I don't want to wear a mask. My rights are being taken away. This is all the Democrats. They're just taking away my rights. They're doing all this, which I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying that at all. But just I feel like a lot of this, even if it's not just this, but so many different things, it's all people wanting to just feel like a victim so they can feel good about themselves.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of conspiracies, I might have said this already on the podcast, but I feel like a lot of conspiracies are just trying to make sense of stuff that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
I feel that way with conspiracies. I feel that way with religion to a degree. Mm-hmm. Like people are, if you think about it, think about like billion, like, I don't know, how long have humans been on the earth? Millions of
I
years,
don't even
maybe?
know. No, I think it's like 50,000 years. Or
I don't
something
know
like
the
that
timeline.
is what the thing is. I don't really know.
So
for
say
sure.
like the first human kind of becomes conscious and they're like, wait, why are we even here? It doesn't make any sense. It still doesn't. But then they can kind of come up with this thing like there's this God and he put us here to do this. We have a purpose here, basically. I feel like that's what a lot of conspiracies are as well. It's like there can't just be this disastrous disease that's out. And this can't just be just some chaotic thing. Like there has to be something behind it. Because people want to make sense. They want to understand something that's not easy to understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can kind of get that. Like, and people like sometimes nature it takes its own course, but sometimes people always feel like it's not nature doing that thing. It's the government. Like, say, okay, this is going into a whole nother topic. I don't know.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I was gonna say, like, say global warming. That is a very heated debate. I have no clue what to believe on that at all. It's just that I don't know really for sure because the Earth, we had the Ice Age, we had other times where it's changed climate just over these centuries and everything. Yes, it's moving fast right now, but I just don't know if it's being blown out of proportion or not because it could just be the Earth's just natural thing. It's just naturally heating up, or it could be us. So I don't know. That's just another thing where it's kind of like people trying to make sense of what's happening in nature that could have underlying things, but no one really knows for sure.
Yeah, it's like I've said this on the podcast too. I don't know if it was a solo episode or not, but I think the smartest thing that you personally can do is realize how stupid you are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. You said that before on this.
Yeah, like the smartest thing you could do is to realize that you don't know that much stuff. Does that make sense? Like, is that...
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's like, I remember seeing this study one time where I think it was like 75 or 80% of all people believe that they're smarter than the average person.
Yeah, I said that. I said everybody thinks they're smarter than everyone else. I do. I look at people and I'm like, yeah, like I'm above these people. And everybody else looks at me the same way. We all look at each other as inferior for some reason.
Yeah, it's just going back to wanting to feel good about yourself. Kind of that thing.
It's innate human behavior. We all want to be top dog on top, man. We all want to be dominant. So in our brains, it's like, yeah, this kid's pretty good at sports. He could probably kill me, but I got the edge. I got the edge on him. I'm a little bit better than him. It's like, no. He thinks that about you. His mother thinks that about your mother. Your mother thinks that about her mother. It's like everybody thinks that about everybody. Everybody thinks they're the smartest person. Everybody thinks they're a little self-aware. No, you're not. We're all stupid, and we have to realize that. Like, obviously Einstein knows a lot about math or science or whatever, but he doesn't know the meaning of life. Nobody knows the meaning of life. Nobody knows why certain things happen. There's lots of things that we just don't know, and we should accept that. Like, picture this. Picture somebody talking about, Donald Trump, he's fighting a shadow war with Hillary Clinton underground under Central Park. They're getting all the kids that are getting eaten by pedophiles out of Central Park. And it's like those people think they're geniuses and they spout that off because they think they're smart. And you can hang back and be like, I don't know, maybe Trump is fighting a shadow war with the Clintons and Obama. Maybe not. I don't know. And you look smarter than the other person, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Somebody that spouts off about something they don't know about looks dumber than somebody that's just like, I don't know. I don't have the knowledge.
Yeah, I totally get that. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying before, where like, if you kind of accept you're not going to know everything, you're not an expert in this field, so let the experts kind of say that thing. That's kind of where I was saying that thing about like the CDC. It's just like they're the experts in the field. You listen to them for that kind of a thing because whatever you read online, that's not the facts about the virus. That's just somebody putting their opinion out there 99% of the time. Obviously, yes, there's studies online. There's certain things like that. But 99% of the time, it's just somebody's opinion that's thrown out there. So I was just saying, like, if you go to the doctor's office, you're not going to like they're not going to tell you, oh, this is what you have, and then you go home and you look it up and see your symptoms and you're like, oh, actually no, I actually have this disease. You totally are not right. I'm the one that's right about this because I have a degree in the medical field, obviously. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to listen to your doctor. And so for me, it's like you just always, that's why we have experts in fields, because you're not going to be able to know everything about every topic. That's why we have those experts, to be able to tell you about that.
Yeah, for sure. So, Judas, we've talked for 30 minutes about this already.
I know.
So we basically both posted something, and a bunch of people reposted it, and we kind of got this thing going. And then they said some stuff at the football game, and then like I'm thankful for everybody that like agreed with it and reposted and everything and spread the word. So that was dope. Mm-hmm. And school's not shut down so far. We were on the news just barely.
Yeah, well, we weren't.
We were not.
So the thing is, dude, we weren't doing this for attention at all.
No, I didn't want to even talk about this on the podcast because I didn't want people to be like, "Oh, Broc freaking thinks he's so cool."
We don't want the attention at all. Like when I was telling him, when I posted my thing on that gossip page, I want to turn off comments on it because I didn't want anybody contacting me about it. I just wanted to put that out there and just be done with it. But I couldn't do that, and then we had a bunch of people like call my parents and call me and just say how good of a job I did, and I was like, oh, okay, thank you. But then they so KSL, it's the news station for Utah, for Salt Lake, and they did like a whole story about Enterprise and like the whole no mask thing, and then they said like there are certain key people that really helped in it, and they said there's like a big social media flare, and then they put on there all the people that were at the football game, and they talked on there, which they did a good job.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they didn't at all. It was just kind of funny because I don't know, they were like the spotlight of everything, which I don't want to be the spotlight. It was just kind of funny in the moment.
And I do. Can I put that out there? I do. I would like the KSL to be like, hey, I'm just kidding. I don't think it's that cool to be on the news. I don't want to be like sound like some hipster that's like, oh, the news is dumb. I don't even want to be on the news, man. The news, like, but it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like your 30 seconds of glory, and then after that, it's just like,
yeah, it's like I'm focused on doing a pod. Like, I didn't watch this segment because I'm coming over here to do the podcast. I want a freaking lifetime of fame. Who cares if my name was mentioned on KSL once? I want people to listen to my podcast forever, but anyways, so it was on the news and everything, and life's good, man. I didn't even want to talk about that, and we talked about it for 33 minutes. That's fantastic. Well,
like,
baby.
Should we go into this? And then we definitely went into it.
Should we just talk about it for a second? 33 minutes later. So, yeah, that was that. Everything's good, man. I feel like a lot of people change their stances. Like, I've heard from multiple people. They're just like, yeah, since that, everything, like, everybody's outlook has changed. The principal said that to somebody. So it did some thing, which is fine. But so this is what I was gonna start with this podcast because I met God.
You met him.
A lot of people don't get this privilege to actually meet God himself. He came into the store actually. I was working on Saturday, and I was kind of pissed off for some reason. I had to work a 10-hour shift, and it was so busy, and it was just me and another gentleman working, and so it was kind of I was working from 8 to 6, basically nonstop, and I was just very frustrated because I get frustrated kind of easily. If you can't tell, I get a little when I get overwhelmed, I just want to yell. I just want to scream. I'm not very good at keeping my calm. And I say swear words to myself. If you watched my mouth all day, you would see some vulgar phrases.
Oh.
But so I was kind of ticked off a little bit, and then all of a sudden this beam of light like shot through the door, and I was like, wait, what's going on? The door opened, and it was like, and I was like, what the world? And all of a sudden this old white-haired, had a bushy mustache, just walked in, and I was like, all right, it's an old person. And he comes over to me, and I just have this thing. Like, I don't know what it is about uncultured people, but we have a thing for accents, you know? So I'm pretty sure it was Australian. Sometimes I can't hear the difference between Australian and British in certain times. It might have been British. I have no idea. I can do them 2 different accents, but when I'm listening, I'm like, is that Australian or British? So he was one of the accents, and he came in, and he was like, "Hey, do you guys have any canteens?" And I'm just like, I don't know. And so he went to the camping stuff to look for canteens because I don't know enough about my own workplace. And we're looking for the canteens, and he said, "My wife likes to hike. We're just trying to find a canteen for her." And I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm not seeing one here, so we might not carry them." And he was like, "Oh well, such is life." And I was just like, "Wait, what?" He was like, "Hey, that's life in the big city. Life in the big city."
Oh my gosh.
And I was just like, it took me a minute to process the scripture that came out of his mouth. I'd never heard "such is life" before. And so I looked it up. And it's my new favorite phrase, "such is life."
In that accent too?
Yeah, it's my new favorite thing. It means it's like, who cares? Like, it's out of my control. Such is life, man. You know what I mean? It changed my entire day. That guy saying "such is life."
That's pretty cool. I mean, I didn't know God was Australian, but that's pretty cool though.
God is every ethnicity. Otherwise, he's racist. So there's a black God, a Hispanic God, Japanese God.
Is he just like cut into sections? Like each
No,
section is
he can shapeshift.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's originally a lizard person. Hillary Clinton's race. So Hillary and Zuckerberg and
all of them, they're all gods.
That squad. So yeah, man, just remember that. You know, like when times get tough, man, just remember "such is life," or life in the big city. And life in the big city was funny because that caught me off guard because
we're not in a big city.
Well, no, because Tim Dillon, who's my favorite comedian, my favorite podcaster, he's the only person I've ever even thought about subscribing to their Patreon. So I'm subscribed to him, and his whole thing, he talks about how there was this man named Dennis who lived in a van in his driveway for a couple years, and his life was a mess, and he was a drunk, drug addict. He was estranged from his kids, and then one time his kids called him, and he was so drunk that he didn't really catch a grasp, and so they kind of like hung up and stuff, like the one chance he had, and they were like, "Yeah, your kids called, and you were so drunk that you didn't even register it." And he said, "Life in the big city," and that was his thing. Like that was his whole. Dennis, this guy that lived in Tim Dillon's driveway in his van, his whole thing was life in the big city. Anytime something terrible happened, he would just say, "Hey, life in the big city." And that's like Tim Dillon's whole merch and brand. And then this Australian guy randomly said that. And I was like, wait, what?
Oh my gosh.
Are you a Tim Dillon guy? Or are you Dennis? I might have met the Dennis guy, which none of you guys know, and it doesn't matter, but just remember life in the big city. When things get tough, and they are going to get tough, especially right now, we're all in school. We're all struggling, man. 2020 has been a weird year.
Oh, big time.
This is the most I've ever been depressed in my entire life, and also the happiest I've ever been at times. Like, it depends on the week. Sometimes I want to kill myself, and other times I'm like, there's nothing wrong. This week, there's nothing wrong, and it's mostly because of that Australian guy. So just remember, such is life, man. You're good. Like, you have so much life ahead of you unless you overdose. And in that lifespan, you're going to encounter, like, very hard times. It's just going to happen. If you haven't already, even if you have already, you're just going to keep... Life just... It's just a series of ups and downs. There's no other way to really put it. Mm. Life sucks, and then there's little moments where it's like, this isn't so bad. My dad sends me this quote sometimes. I don't know who it's probably some church guy, but it's like, life is kind of a slow like steam engine or something going uphill, and then with little spots of beauty, you just got to keep chugging on, I guess, kind of. I butchered that, but it's like, yeah, man, life's terrible. Can we not? We got to stop running away from this notion that life is some grand thing. It's like, no, life is disgusting, but there are moments that we need to look forward to and live for. You know what I mean? Once you realize that, it's the most freeing feeling. It's like, we're all put here to die. We're all going to die. We're all going to experience terrible things. But then sometimes we're just going to have a good time. We're going to have a couple friends, maybe our families, and it's just, you're going to feel good.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, you just got to be ready for those times, because you're not just going to like know when the good times are going to come. You just always got to be prepared. You just always got to be like living in the moment and just ready for that. I've
been trying to do that a lot more often, because you always look back at times and you're like, yeah, man, those were the good old days. And so I've been trying to recognize when I'm currently in them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to take advantage of every moment and be like, this is a good time that I'm living in currently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, we'll look back to this time, and I don't know what we're going to say about it, but we will look back to this time. That is 100% accurate.
Yes, sir. We're going to be telling our kids.
Oh, big time.
I love Shaylin Nelson, our freaking political science teacher, is kind of funny. And he was just talking about how everyone says we're living in unprecedented times and we're living in such hard times. And he's like, the people in 1918 were going through a way worse pandemic and fighting World War I. Like, what is this about unprecedented times? It's so...
Well, it's way different, but, like...
Yeah.
You can handle it.
This is way better than it would have been in 1918.
Oh, big time, big time.
I think the weakest generation... What's the generation after the boomer? Z or X? Are we Z?
Well, after the boomer is millennial, and then...
No, there's X and then millennial and then Z.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know what the one after that is.
Yeah, I don't remember what the one after that is.
But I think Generation X, the people that grew up in the 90s, or maybe that is the millennials, whatever.
I don't even know.
Both of them, you're pretty weak. Like, every generation before that had, like, some sort of war. But, like, Generation X, y'all are kind of weak. Like, our parents' generation is kind of... Our generation, but I don't know. Maybe it's just that I don't see it enough, but I feel like our generation is not that bad. Millennials are definitely bad.
I feel like we have to wait to see how our generation grows.
Yeah. Our generation, until, like, 2 years younger than us, everything after that is a living nightmare.
Oh, big time. Holy crap.
But everything before that isn't that bad. Like, these people are pretty well-rounded and kind of understand. Like, we were in between not having any technology and just this technologically advanced world. Like, we were in that little pocket of the 2000s where it was like you had a TV, and then like the iPhone came out in like 2009 when you were like, I was like 6. And so we didn't grow up with iPads. We grew up watching like Little Einstein and stuff on the TV, but it wasn't like we were constantly on an iPad like these kids grew up.
We were like in that like right moment right there where it's like you have a good amount of technology, but not too much where we're at right now.
So we're not boomers, but we're not zoomers. You know, like boomers don't know how to use any technology, and they're afraid of it, and they hate it, and they think it's the worst thing in the world. And zoomers are like, okay, boomer. You know what I mean? Like, zoomers are the TikTok kids, and it's like, oh,
yeah, I know what you mean.
So I feel like we were born at the perfectly right time, and our generation, it's not as bad as everyone says, but
I mean, we can't speak for everybody. Every generation has their good and their bad. I feel like generally it's a little bit better. I don't know.
It's definitely better than the generation below us, whatever that is.
Yeah, the upcoming generation. Oh gosh.
Nightmares, little nightmares.
Holy crap! Like at school, we just seclude ourselves from anybody younger than freshmen, 10th grade.
Some of the freshmen are cool. I would say 11th grade. Like, the class below us is the line.
Yeah.
Like, those kids are cool, but everything after that is kind of terrible.
Yeah. The class below us is the line. So anything after the class of 2022...
Y'all are done for, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck, Charlie. That's all I have to say to you, man.
They won't even know what that is.
Yeah, stupid idiots. What else could we talk about? I wanted to talk about, oh yeah, there were two. Listen, man. The justice system needs some fixing. Let me say that right off the bat.
No doubt about it.
Steve Bannon, who was Trump's White House advisor, something chief of something, dude. I don't even know. But Steve Bannon, he's kind of like well known. Like I know his name, but I didn't really know who he was. I knew he was involved with Trump, and I knew he was a Trump guy, and people didn't like him. He was arrested on Thursday.
Oh great! What for this time?
Let's just.
Should I like have a guessing?
Yeah,
time?
guess what Steve Bannon of the Trump Organization was arrested for on Thursday.
I'm gonna say either child porn.
No.
Or like rape allegations.
Nope.
Or
nothing to do with sex.
Oh, okay. That changes things because that's what it seems like
Yeah.
every politician goes in for. So I don't know.
Yeah. Steve Bannon was arrested on Thursday for, I think it would be classified as embezzlement fraud. He was teamed up with two other guys. In the New York Times article, it says a wounded Vietnam pilot and like some Florida like hustler or something. Like he teamed up with two people, and they raised money for Trump's wall allegedly.
What?
So they were telling people, they conned like hundreds of thousands of investors, hundreds of thousands of donators. They raised $25 million, and Bannon used $1 million of that for personal gain, like personal stuff, which is so awesome. He should not be arrested for that. Look, man, that is the coolest. And do you want to know how he got arrested?
How?
He was on a $35 million, 150-foot yacht in like some bay in Connecticut, reading a book and drinking coffee, and the feds raided the yacht.
Oh.
That is the coolest thing I've ever heard. Like a lot of people, that's how I want to go out. That is how I want to go out. A lot of people are like, yeah, I want to be surrounded by loved ones. I want to be surrounded by my family. I want it to be peaceful. I want to say my goodbyes. Like, no, I want to be shot in the face by a federal agent while I'm drinking coffee on a $35 million yacht. I want the FBI, the Coast Guard on all sides, firing on all cylinders just to get to me, and they shoot me in the face, and that's how I want to go out.
There you go.
That is the coolest thing. Bannon is he's my idol. Okay, I'm just going to say that right now. That's a hustle, dude. That's a hustle. You can't blame him. That's a hustle.
Yeah, okay.
Am I wrong?
I mean,
I feel like it's well-deserved money. I feel like it's well-deserved money.
I don't see how he deserved the money that they were donating.
He hustled
towards the wall.
He hustled them.
Yeah, but
he put in the time and the work to gather that Vietnam veteran and that Florida guy, and they hustled, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's not being honest at all, but I guess you said about a lot of jobs and everything.
Exactly. Most jobs, most of the time, if you're making a lot of money, you're doing something not morally good. Is that accurate? Would you say that? So it's like, just because he's doing it at a bigger scale, and just because it's involved with the presidency, doesn't mean it's not cool. It's still awesome.
I mean, I still don't think it's good. I don't think that this is ever anything good, but it just happens too much with too many things.
I see it as other people do it at a smaller scale. He pulled it off at a bigger scale. I respect it. I look up to you, Mr. Bannon. I hope you're watching this. I look up to you every morning. Okay? So that was one of the unjust arrests. I'm pretty sure he was released. But I think he's looking to like 20 years in prison, which is dope. I think his bail's like $5 million or something. But
that's easy for him.
And something else involved with the justice system. My girl Lori, man. You know Lori Loughlin?
I do not.
The girl from Full House, the Aunt Becky from Full House.
I have not watched Full House.
Oh, man. So she was this actress in Full House. I grew up watching Full House. It was my favorite show, that and Boy Meets World. And so she was Aunt Becky, you know, Lori Loughlin, cute lady, Aunt Becky, fun, you know what it is, you know the vibes. And so recently, I think like last year, maybe 2 years ago, she was caught in this scandal with paying certain college people, like her and some other lady were paying somebody at a college to get their daughters in.
Oh.
Like big money, big white privilege kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so the trial's been kind of going on for a long time, and we've been kind of waiting. And it was finally revealed that she got 2 months in prison. Look, I don't know what you people are thinking in the jury, in the judge, in the justice system. I don't know if you guys are just racist towards white people. I don't know. I really don't know what you're thinking over there. The judges, the police, the investigators, the jury, everybody involved with that, I hope you burn in hell. Lori Loughlin does not deserve a second. She doesn't deserve to even drive near a prison. Okay? Do you understand me right now?
Sure, yeah.
Everybody, I want you to change if you're listening to this podcast, I want you to change your bio to Free Lori Loughlin. She did nothing wrong. She hustled. These people are just jealous because they don't make enough money to send their daughters to prestigious universities and say they play sports that they don't actually play and get scholarships that aren't deserved. These people are jealous of my girl Lori Loughlin. I want you to change your Twitter handle, your Instagram bio, your Visco bio. I don't even care about the mask thing. That was all just a ploy. Mm-hmm. What I really want you to share is Free Lori Loughlin. She does not deserve this. 2 months in prison, it's abysmal. It's an abysmal amount of time for this lovely woman who serves our country, mind you, as playing Aunt Becky for generations of youth, teaching them life lessons. She served our country. She was Aunt Becky. You can't sit there and tell me you didn't learn lessons from Aunt Becky from Full House. She did a service to the country, and she does not deserve to go to prison for something that you're just jealous you couldn't do. I'm really tired of it. This back and forth. You want to know what's great is Lori Loughlin. She's definitely going to like some like fancy white prison where they have like tennis Tuesdays. Like that's going to be so good. And she's going to be, they're going to have like yoga classes and everything. She's going to be like teaching a yoga class, and she'll come out of prison and she'll be like, I just learned a lot. I really didn't even want to leave. Honestly, I wanted to stay. It was like a little vacation. Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. I love this country. God bless America, baby.
Yeah, putting people in prison for 2 months when they are literally kicking somebody else out of college and like, using their money to their advantage, making it unfair for everybody else.
Look, there are people in prison for selling weed. And they're in prison,
years.
And they're in prison for life. And in some of the states, it's not even illegal anymore, and they're still in prison. That is justified. They broke the law. They were selling narcotics. Lori didn't do anything wrong. Do you see the difference here? This person sold weed. Lori was trying to help her daughter. She was doing what any parent would do if they had the money. I should have been her lawyer. Hire me. If you're a celebrity, hire me as your defense attorney right here. Look at this. She was doing this to help her child. This guy was probably selling weed to buy crack. It just doesn't make any sense to me, if I'm being downright honest with you.
To be honest, to me, it seems like selling drugs is not as bad as that, to be honest to me. Which, I know that sounds terrible, but, like, at the same time...
This is a hot topic. You better be able to back this up with some facts.
Okay, so the thing is...
I'm just kidding.
I know. The thing is, though, it's like... that person, they're literally kicking somebody out of college who deserves to be there versus another person whose parents are rich. They just have that privilege. They can just go to college. Versus the other thing, it's like somebody who's selling drugs, obviously selling drugs probably isn't the greatest thing ever, but it's like some people, they live in such an awful situation they can't get by any other way. And so to me, it's like what's one person's doing, they're trying to get by in probably not the best way, which many people get by in wrong ways and other ways like that too that are just as bad or worse, versus somebody else who has a crap ton of money and they're sending their kid to a cool college when their kid doesn't deserve to be there, and no one has to go to Yale to be cool. Like, that's just the thing. Like,
coming from you, that means nothing. Mr. Aerospace Engineer.
Okay, the thing is, for
means
me,
nothing to me.
So for me, Stanford has always been my dream school, but it's like if I don't get into Stanford, oh well. That's just been a cool place for me to think about going. But it's like, really, I just want to go to a school that's going to help me out. That's going to be really good for me. In the field I want to go into, it doesn't have to be a prestigious school. Heck, there's like Purdue University on there. I mean, I don't think they're a bad school at all. It's just like they're not like a prestigious school, and I'd be happy to go there because they're really good in aerospace engineering. So it's like, for me, it's just I want to go to some place that's going to help me out. You can go to many places that can help you out that don't have to be some prestigious Ivy League school to get your degree, which I'm not saying going to an Ivy League school is bad. That's up to you. But paying money, like millions of dollars, to go there and kick somebody else out is just terrible.
I'm starting to be curious while you're talking. Like, what was she going there for? Like, what does her daughter plan on doing, like, after college? Like, does she want to be a lawyer, or what's going on?
They're like, going there for the clout. That's literally it.
Exactly. That's what my brain is saying. It's like, I don't think she's going to be a doctor.
Well, and you can
I don't
go
know
be
anything.
a doctor at University of Utah, and
yeah,
they're like top 10 program, and they're a fifth of the cost, and they're easy to get into. It's like, I don't know. For me, yes, Ivy Leagues are cool, but earn your way in at least. At least do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're prestigious for a reason, because you have to be really good to get into those schools, not because you have a lot of money, which I feel like that's how most people get in, which is sad. But
yeah, it's a crazy world we're living in, man. Bannon got arrested for no reason. Lori Loughlin's going to prison for no reason. California's on fire because of the Democrats. And, TikTok is suing Trump.
TikTok is suing Trump. Hold up, what?
That's a sentence I never thought I would say, but I was reading that right before we came in here.
That is I just don't know what to make of that. What?
TikTok sues Trump administration over U.S. ban. TikTok has filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration over the government's pending ban of the popular video sharing app, the company announced Monday. Listen, man, I'm not a Trump guy. I'm not a politics guy. This is one of the few things that I agree with Trump on.
Mm-hmm.
Ban TikTok.
Yeah, excuse my language, but TikTok is giving kids cancer.
Yes, sir. TikTok is melting the minds of our youth, and I don't mean to be like I don't mean that lightly. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's like, I don't want to admit it, but I used to go on there a little bit. But every time I would go on there, I just feel worse about myself, and I'd just be like, why the heck am I on this app? Every single time.
Worse about myself. That's beautiful.
Well, because every time I'd go on there, I'd be like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Mm-hmm. Why am I on this app? Which, even then, like, they have different recommendations. For me, my recommendations are actually decent things, but then I have to look at other people's recommendation, and it's all just TikTok dances. It's all...
Yeah, I've never been, like, a TikTok guy. Like, I was for a half a second when it was, like, At first it like sucked and nobody liked it and it was a thing to make fun of.
Uh-huh.
And then somehow it like got funny. Like
Yeah,
somehow
for a minute it definitely did.
Somehow everyone like liked it, and that was when I had it like last summer, the end of last summer. And then I got rid of it. I only had it for like maybe 2 weeks. And then ever since then I've never gotten it. I never thought to look at it because I just don't like some of the stuff. Like Braden, my brother, will just send me the funny ones that he finds. So it's like a good system we kind of have. I kind of have to. I get the filter. I don't have to look through all these TikToks. He just sends me ones that are hilarious and they're actually funny. Did you see Instagram? Like their new thing, the Reels.
Oh yeah, I did.
The attempt to copy TikTok.
The Instagram TikTok.
Dude, Mark Zuckerberg became, like 100 billion. Like he passed the 100 billion mark after that.
Oh my gosh.
Because the stocks just shot after that, which I don't know. Like I went on there and looked at it and it was cool. There's definitely bugs with it. Like the sound is off.
Yeah.
On mine at least. I don't know if that's how it was on all of them. The sound is like not synced, and it was I couldn't even watch it. But
well, and it's like hidden away too. It's like
yeah, it's not very accessible.
You'd expect if they added a whole new thing like that, it'd be like a whole different tab on the bottom or something. But no, it's kind of hidden away.
Yeah, and so like those kind of things are just not for me. Like my brain, I'll check Instagram and stuff. I don't know why I'm addicted. I'll check Instagram, Visco, Snapchat. Wait like 4 hours. Like there's so many things. I'm busy most of the time. And then when I'm not busy, I'm not like, oh man, I'm just going to sit here and watch people make stuff. Because like I'm the person that wants to be making this stuff. I don't want to watch people make stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just how I am. So TikTok's never been like if I had TikTok, I would want to be making the TikToks and making people laugh. So like I can't waste my time scrolling through TikToks when I could be like finding stuff for the podcast and making music or something. Like that's just not something I'm into, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally know what you mean, and I don't know. It's just like I like the stuff when it was like TikToks that remind you of Vine, like stuff like that. Yeah. But everything else is just like, no, dude, just no.
A lot of it has become like people will show me certain ones, and a lot of it has become people. Have you seen like the green screen effect? You know that where it's like somebody kind of like standing in front of a picture and it's like very bad green screen on TikTok. That's like most of them is like there will be somebody. It'll be like poor green screen cut out of somebody, and then like a picture in the background, like maybe a tweet or like an article. And a lot of the times it's a meme, and the person will stand there and be like. Point to it and like smile. They added nothing.
Oh, I know. And then there's people. So you know how they can like duet things. Like there'll be a funny post that somebody put on TikTok, and then somebody will just duet it. Yeah. And they'll just sit there. They literally just film themselves, and they get like 100 times the amount of views as the other post. But all they do is sit there. Yeah. And they get all the credit for it. It's like
that's what TikTok is a lot of. Is just people standing. I just don't understand. And then people eat it up. It's like, oh, I love that this guy is standing in front of this meme.
Yeah, well, it's like, if I see somebody duetting that, I'm going to click on the thing they're duetting and then watch that. And
yeah, why would I want to watch somebody watch something? It's like reaction videos. I don't understand the point of reaction videos. Why would I want to watch somebody watch something when I could just watch the thing or not watch the thing? I've never understood reaction videos, and I've never understood like this new TikTok thing.
Like I can understand commentaries and stuff like that, but just reaction videos, just straight reaction videos. No.
Like reaction channels where the guys are just like watching a video. Like there'll be like my first reaction to this album, and it'll just be the album playing. They'll be like, "Oh, that's hot," and it's like, yeah, have your own thoughts. What do these people watch these? They watch these reaction videos
so they know how to react.
So they know how to react to it. So they're like, oh, yeah, that is a hot bar. It's like, just think it on your own.
Yeah, because it's like if they actually kind of like something and then the guy's like, oh, that's terrible. And they'll go around their friends and be like, man, I hate that song. It's just...
Dude, and I'm a victim of that. Like, I'll watch Fantano sometimes and he'll be like, he'll rate an album poorly. And all of a sudden, I'll hate that album for no reason. For zero reason. I'll always look at that album and just be like, oh. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's something like a lot of the time it's people feel self-conscious and they want to kind of have that one up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They want to have that info that this other person doesn't have. So they'll be like, oh, that album's not good for this and this and this reason. That's like what a lot of these pretentious people come from, is like they want to feel more important and more knowledgeable about this certain thing, which I've tried to move away from a lot. And I've started just listening to literally whatever. Like I was listening to Cardi B in my truck on the way home from school.
Oh.
You ever heard WAP?
I have not.
I'm going to show it to you after. We're going to end this and I'm going to show it to you. It's very fire. It's probably the worst song of all time. Like it's the most grotesque song.
Oh.
And then I got to show you Shapiro reading the lyrics on his show. But we're going to wrap this up because we've done over an hour. So thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful week. We'll see you next Wednesday. Follow me at Kendall Broc. Listen to my music, k.broc, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. And follow me on Instagram, Dawson Tulane, and hopefully soon on YouTube, Dawson Tulane too.
Let's go, baby.
I'm still working on it. It's still just tough for me.
Yeah, don't feel pressured. Like the moment you start feeling pressured to put stuff out, that's when you start hating it.
Mm.
So just put it out whenever you want. Like you don't want to do it for a job, do you?
No.
So it's like there's no pressure. So just put it out whenever, man. And if people want to watch, if people find your information helpful, they'll watch it. So
yeah, thanks, bro.
So go check out Tulane. Go check out me. Subscribe to the freaking podcast. Leave us a review. That's all I gotta say. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being good chaps.
Yep. And we will see you next time.
Peace out, everybody.